Hi, so in this video we're going to look at slightly harder versions of the last equations we solved. So before we looked at equations that could be solved with one inverse operation, so I'll quickly remind you of the pairs we have. So we have plus and minus, which cancel each other, and we also have multiply and divide, which cancel each other, and these are going to be quite relevant for this next bit. So we solved equations that were like this last time, and we also had one that was like this, I believe. And we solved those in one step. This one by minusing 2 on both sides to get rid of this plus 2, and this one by timesing 3 to get rid of this divide by 3 on this side. So for this one, I'm going to give you equations like this. So 3x plus 5 equals 14. Equals 14. Yeah, that's good. So my philosophy for all of maths is that if you don't know how to solve something, you turn it into something you know how to do. So in this case, I'm going to look at this and think, okay, if this 3x was on its own, I would know how to solve this because it'd be 3x equals a number, and I know that I can just divide by 3 when that happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into something we know by getting rid of this plus 5 first. So you get rid of everything that doesn't have an x in it. So in this case, it will just be this. So you get rid of everything except this. You've got to get this on its own. So we're getting rid of this plus 5 by minusing 5 on both sides. So on this side, I'll get plus 5 and minus 5 cancelling. And this is 3x. And this is on this side, we have 14 minus 5, which is 9. Okay, so now from the last video, this is something you can solve. So we turned it into something we know how to do. So x times by 3 is 9, so the inverse operation of timesing by 3 is dividing by 3. So let's divide by 3. So of course, timesing by 3, dividing by 3 will cancel. I'll get that x is equal to 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. Let's do another one. So let's do 2x minus 1 equaling 5. So again, if this 2x was on its own, I would know how to solve it because it would be 2x equals a number, and then I can just get rid of this 2 like I know how to do. So let's do that. So let's get rid of this minus 1 and turn it into something we know how to do. So that's plus 1 on both sides, because obviously the inverse of minus 1 is plus 1 from our pairs up top. So plus and minus invert each other, and times and divide invert each other. So on the bottom here, these are going to cancel. So I will get 2x on this side, and that is equal to 5 plus 1, which is 6. And now this is something I know how to do. So x times 2 is 6. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 to cancel multiplying by 2. So I get that x is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So remember, do each side individually. So the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and just work down bit by bit by bit by bit. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'll let you have a go at the worksheet. So let's consider something like x over 5 minus 7 equals 23. That's a bit off the page, sorry. So x over 5 minus 7 equals 23. And again, when stuff like this comes along, it can be a bit intimidating, but you just adhere to your principles. You just use your inverse operations and you get x on its own. So following the examples we've done previously, we want to get rid of this 7. So I'm going to plus 7 on both sides. Whoops. Yeah, plus 7 on both sides. So on this side, I'm going to have minus 7 and plus 7 cancel. So I'm going to get x over 5 equals 23 plus 7, which is 30. And now I have x divided by 5 equals 30. And it's very tempting to divide here, but you have to remember that you are using inverse operations. So x divided by 5, so the inverse operation of dividing by 5 is timesing by 5. So here, because these are inverse operations, they cancel. So timesing by 5, dividing by 5. So on this side, I will just get x. And this is equal to 30 times 5, which is 150. So x for this equation x over 5 minus 7 equals 23 is 150. And we can just check that if you like. So 150 divided by 5 is 30, minus 7 is 23. So this does indeed work. Have a go at the worksheet until you're confident. The answers are linked at the bottom.